moving on now, I want to give you a development update. Um, you know, I do these downloads and we talk about different apps, etc. But I don't believe most people in the ecosystem understand the level of complexity and the breadth and the magnitude of the development that's going on. Uh, People kind of just think, oh yeah, it's a protocol, it's pretty easy. It's not. It's complicated. And let me just show you the scope of what we're doing. So in order to get to where we are going, we have to build a very large number of smart contracts and a very large number of dApps. So I'm going to walk you through those. So we've got Swapper coming up and Poet also coming up in a few days. And then we are working on this big app, tentatively called Nexus. So that's the app that you will use with your, in order to unlock the capabilities of your Nexus NFT. So that app has to have contracts that control all the vesting, control the movement of perks, control the rev share, and control voting. So there's a ton of logic, etc., that has to be built into these. So it's really, Nexus is not one contract, it's actually a collection of smart contracts. The next contract we'll be working on is Wrap Vitru. So after several talks with exchanges, etc., we determined it is not feasible for us to list Vitru on an exchange directly because none of them can support a rebasing token. Essentially, as Vitru owners, if you go to a centralized exchange, what you end up doing is giving the exchange your rebases because they hold your Vitru. And once you go to a centralized exchange, we're really talking about a database there, right? So if you've heard the phrase, not your private key, not your coins, and that's what centralized exchanges are about. So in order to mitigate that, we have this concept of a wrapped Vitru. So you get wrapped Vitru, and that's what you list on an exchange, and that's what you trade on an exchange. So when you come back out, the rebases are still there and waiting for you. So that's a smart contract we have to create. And then finally, the second row is a really large number of smart contracts that implement everything this protocol represents, right? So we are essentially saying that we are different from Ethereum, from Solana, from Tezos, etc., from all the marketplaces that exist there. So we are in effect creating all of that in one protocol. So OpenSea, Foundation, Blur, Super Air, all those marketplaces, right? We don't like some of that functionality because it's essentially cookie cutter and a wrong approach. We fixed that, but now we also have to implement that. So we've got the asset base where every asset, whether it's visual arts, music, movies, books, etc., will be registered. Then we have creator base where every creator who wants to transact using e-commerce on our platform will be in there with a different KYC level, whatever KYC level they want to go in at. Vitru Studio, the application that allows them to actually onboard them. So this is the contract part of it, which is fairly substantial. Vitru Store, the actual marketplace, the smart contract associated with that. And Vitru Stream, the ability for people to use streaming platforms and devices like Apple TV or a token display or something like what you see behind me, and consume that, buy that and license it. So those are all smart contracts that have to be written. But that's not all, right? Like smart contracts are code on the blockchain, but in order to interact with that as humans, you need friendly, beautiful user experiences, and that requires a web app to be designed and built. And so for the Swapper, we have to do that. For Poet, we've already done that. The Nexus app has to be built. So this is going to be essentially our dashboard for all things around Vitru. The Nexus app will be the go-to app. Studio will be the go-to app for creators. Store will be the go-to app for collectors and art appreciators who want to buy actual artworks. A Stream is the go-to app where you compose your playlist of artwork, etc., and it gives you a link or it pushes it to your device. So as you can see, each of these rectangles represents many hours and actually a variety of different people working together in order to achieve this. So the scope of this is pretty massive, considering the fact that we are trying to get this done in a little under 60 days. So any one of these could be a project that lasts months, but we are doing this in a very capital constrained way, a very resource constrained way, and still are delivering a pretty high quality work. So I'm proud of our team, and I just wanted to give you an insight on the scope of what we're doing. It is very, very large.